Godfree to the conference again this year. Chay is the founder and visionary organizer of Crops Not Shops, a ground-up movement partly spurred by the pandemic in 2020 to revision what the community can be and do. Welcome back, Chay. We're delighted to have you return to share with us how you were called to sacred action.
Bless. Thank you so much, family. I'd just like to invite a prayer to start with, actually. I would, just to say, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
All good. Yeah, because I've got a big storm here. So, yeah, I'm up in the community at the in my army tent. But, yeah, I'd just like to start off with a call to sacred prayer. You know, the time and that we're in, a call to sacred action is so needed right now. So we just give thanks for this beautiful life. Almighty Creator, Father, Great Spirit, and Mother Earth, we thank you for people that are really trying to share their light in the world, in the dark places. May all the people that are going through tribulation or trials in the world find some peace, nourishment, love, and care, so that us in the West can really share what we're trying to promote in the world of love, for love and for the earth. And may all the children be free. May we stay strong, guided and protected and connected to each other. May we remember the sacredness of all life and the interconnectedness that we get to be here in this time. More love, more blessings, more life. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Krista, and all the Sacred Earth Activism team for putting this beautiful knowledge sharing, this inspirational gathering every year. I know how much work it takes to put this kind of stuff on. So yeah, my name is Chay Godfree. I'm the co-founder or founder of this grassroots activist movement called Crops Not Shops, taking direct action to build food security, to remember a sacred way of living in tribe, in community, together on land, to build systems for home education, create spaces for people to find refuge through healing retreats and sacred gatherings, really tapping back into an ancient way of remembering, using the resources that we have around us and coming away from a corrupt system of oppression and moving one into more light and more love. So yeah, we're actually 4.5 years into the project now. It started as a response to the pandemic or whatever you want to call it, whatever happened for the consciousness shift. In Southend, I was in Southend-on-Sea 4 years ago. I won't go too much into the story because I shared it last year because I want to talk about where we're at now. But yeah, we planted food in people's gardens and then we took over neglected council plots, and we really was like on a rebel mission and a renaissance to get people back out connected to the land and growing our own food. So fast forward 2.5 years, we was given the opportunity to, I suppose, become guardian of this beautiful land that I'm currently on in Glastonbury. We have 22 acres and we've worked out a model that is ready to be replicated throughout the whole country. So we've got 4 projects now starting up that's as part of this movement. And the core model is about transitioning wealth from the people who have land and money back to the people who don't have access to land or money. So we've got 3 branches of the model: is community shared, community owned, and community supported. Now we've got community shared farm. The community shared farming project in Glastonbury is about working in partnership with landowners to let groups of people, i.e. the group of people at Crops, like diversify the use of land, working completely as a non-hierarchical, cohesive, consensus decision making, like everything coming back to circle. Again, we're so new and still trying to work out the best way to make this happen. But in 2.5 years, we've grown nearly 20 tons of food. We've given away, I suppose, about 16 tons, so 16,000 kilos of food has come out of this land in just 2.5 years, and half of that has been given away to people in need. So what we're trying to do is sell the food to people who can afford it and then subsidize the people who can't, basically. So it supports the project, it supports people in need, and it gives people who can afford it good, wholesome, nourishing, organic food. All of our project vision is to be completely in line with what the earth wants. You know, she's really like speaking to the people now and speaking to this community. There's 20 people on site that currently live at Crops. We've got hundreds of people on the waiting list. So what it shows us is that the people are really wanting this lifestyle and to get back in community. I think like what we've learned mostly at Crops is that everyone's really craving connection and being together. And yeah, that's what we're really focused on here at Crops. So like just to tap back into how the project model works with the landowners is we connected with the landowner and we presented a 5-year proposal. And we said to him, like, if you're in fully involved in the community. So all of the investment is shared between him and us, and all of the profits or successes, we don't really say profit because we're not really making money at the moment, but all the successes are shared with him. So yeah, this year we're building a retreat center here. We have our events, we have camping, just to bring in some funds for people. Everything is completely shared and there's been no conflict. It really feels like we're pioneering actually something that's like needed for the UK. I don't know any other projects that are doing what we're doing in terms of like living, working with land. There's no ownership. Mark, although he is the overall owner, he wouldn't make any decisions without bringing it to community. So like there's no fear of us getting kicked off. You know, there's no like hidden agendas behind him. Everything is done with like real open communication. Everything's really transparent. Everyone knows where they stand, and everyone is really happy. That's the thing. Is like we're very vibrant here. You know, we're growing like tons and tons of food to give away. We're having 20 children come on a Tuesday and a Thursday to do this passion-led free learning. We have our beautiful events. Our whole calendar is booked up for people wanting to come to the land. We had 10,000 people come through the land last year. And yeah, now we're kind of like on the final year of laying the foundation. So at the end of this year, we'll be able to drop the project on other bits of land, which we have loads lined up. So we're working on something that's going to be released in the future called the Community of Communities. So setting up lots of different communities so that we can all share each other's different functions for different bits of land. And that in a nutshell is really what we're what we are achieving. So yeah, it's an amazing movement. It's all about fair sharing, you know, sharing. It's all about equal decision making, you know, the family unit being at the center, front and center. Yeah, it's really powerful. We have a lot of amazing movements that are wanting to partner with us for our outreach programs. We're currently partnered with a Big Issue, so we're taking rough sleepers off the streets and finding plots of council land that we can share regenerative teachings with the Big Issue rough sleepers to kind of funnel them through. We're calling it a through the gate service, so they can get channeled into career pathways to take them off the streets and combat their addiction problems. We're looking at rolling out something with the Ministry of Justice in prisons, so working with men to get them connected back to regenerative processes, growing food with them. Yeah, it's a massive pioneering project. This is just like a small part of like the whole mission, but yeah, it would be difficult for me to get it all into a half hour or even just like a 20 minutes. So yeah, like we have our beautiful annual gathering here, which is called the Sacred Earth, inspired by the Sacred Earth activism movement. So I said to Krista and Jonathan, could I call it Sacred Earth? Would it combat? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, let's call it that. So I'm super grateful for the inspiration. And yeah, really tapping back into like, you know, the sacredness and the gentleness of life. But with action as well, you know, we're a community of like structure and action, like really like we're doers, but we're celebrators as well. And we're planners and we're dreamers. And that's like the 4, you know, pillars of the people that really need to make a community work. And I've lived in a lot of communities. I've traveled with communities. And not to say to blow our trumpet, but we're far more successful, I suppose, than a lot of the communities I've worked with. I don't know if it's because of the time and people are really ready to look at themselves, like, but that's what it takes to live in a tribe, actually, to be accountable, because we all have loads of stuff we're dealing through, right? Everyone has, especially right now on Earth. So yeah, that's why it's really working. And no decisions really get made unless it's like between the whole community. It can slow things up, but we've got a good team of people that don't really get caught on making silly decisions, taking ages to make silly decisions. We're really trying to build a sociocratic system, so using sociocracy as a way of governing the whole project. So yeah, it's like shared responsibility, and everyone's got a passion for something in life. We all got a burning desire to create something, right? Because that's our humanity, and that's what we're bringing across. So we've got healers here, we've got educators, we've got growers. So yeah, I really think it's an important and really crucial movement for as a solution. We say we've got some planners come in, the council and stuff. Yeah, we've got the council come in, and we're going to propose to them like all of the, I suppose, solutions that society needs. We're battling mental health crisis. You know, we're housing people that would be homeless. You know, we're combating addiction because we don't have drugs or alcohol on site. You know, plant medicines in their own space. If they want to smoke a bit of weed, that's fine, a little bit every now and then. But generally, most people are here in recovery. So yeah, we're looking at like, you know, doing that together and helping people overcome their deepest traumas here. And in community, in tribe, it fast tracks that, because you're exposed to everyone all the time, right? You're completely naked around a load of people all the time. You can't put a mask on. So whatever you're going through, like, everyone can see it. And then like as a unit, we're all helping that heal. So it becomes like a really quick processing, a time of process, and people are not doing it on their own, because we found, you know, like we're preaching to the converted. We know what's going on the earth, you know, with loneliness and, you know, the crisis this and the crisis that. Yeah, I'm really, I suppose what we're looking for now is other people that want to do this model. We're happy to share the model with people that want to, you know, adopt it and use it for their own projects. So we've got like a whole market garden growing schedule. We've got a whole education model. We've got a whole healing and retreat space. We've got a whole community model. And like I say, we've got community shared farming is what we're doing on the Glastonbury site, but we've also got community owned. So groups of people that have equal amount of investment that want to buy land together to create their own community projects is another branch of the model. And then we've got the community supported model, where people come from outside, come and be part of the project. They don't live on site, but they do get to have the perks of being here. So free food, you know, come to the events, they come to the education. So yeah, you've got like a living community and then a wider community. And I think like some of the fundamental steps for freedom from the mainstream narrative is land and community. And that can be, you know, if we own buildings in the urban spaces, or if we get land together, if we own it or work with landowners, that, you know, the land shortage is a lie, it's a myth. There's loads of land. There's loads of farmers who want to change the use of the land, because food and farming is really under attack as well, as you probably know. And like farmers can't make the ends meet just by farming food and livestock. So they're really having to, you know, use the farmland for localized, regenerative, resource-based economic projects. So it's a great thing, but we need more. Yeah, we need more farmers to let it happen. Actually, we've got about 25 farmers, but there's like 7 million farms in the UK, and we need like at least, you know, a few 100,000 to be doing this for it to make a real yeah, we need to scale it up basically. But I really think it's coming. I'm super optimistic about the future. I think it's an amazing time to be alive. And, you know, there's so many people doing amazing things. So yeah, the mainstream, we've already won. I watched a shaman talk about us winning, or the light has already won. So yeah, we're just feeling the birthing pains. And I suppose, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. If that's okay, I'll take some questions and yeah.
Thank you, Chay. It's so inspiring, and there's so much more to hear from you. The first question that appeared was from Nikki Holmes, saying that she knows somebody who's homeless in Shropshire and wondering if you know of any housing partnerships in Shropshire.
I don't know of any housing partnerships in Shropshire, but I do know of a beautiful community project by Shropshire. I don't know if Derbyshire is quite close to Shropshire, right? It's the next county. And there's a beautiful community project there that she's also a partner of Crops. So I'm happy to, I'm happy to share the contact.
Thank you. And I think you've answered to this, but Debbie, how long has the project been going and how did it start? So I guess you said at the beginning of your talk, you said that you didn't want to repeat what you said last year, but I guess there are some people here who haven't heard that story.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy to chat a little about the inspiration. So it's actually started in 2020. I've been on this movement, I suppose, since 2011, but it was called different things, and it was like doing different functions. So in 2020, I was still in Southend, and I was growing food, and I had 7 allotments, and I always was really into growing my own food. And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, okay, this is like a real chance for us to change. Actually, I knew it was going to come, but I didn't realize it was going to come then. For years, we all knew, I suppose, if you've been looking at like patterns and prophecy and scriptures, this was always going to happen, this time of change. And I was inspired to through a prayer of Christ. Actually, I sat down on my sofa and I was like, I really prayed hard, and I was like, I need some information, some download of how I can spread this mission. And it was just very clear: go and plant food in people's gardens. Like, I just didn't know how or what I was meant. I knew what I was meant to do. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew that I would be given all the answers and everything was going to be coming. So yeah, it started in 2020 through the need to not rely on the system so much, actually, and for us to be more self-reliant and grow our own food and bring our children out of a corruption and go away from big pharma and all this like natural way of living. So yeah, I had a vision through the prayer that we would be given land. I didn't know it was going to be in Glastonbury, but I saw bigger bits of land and lots of it and loads of people. And yeah, and just the vision, how it was given to me is exactly what's happened. So I know I'm on the right path. Like, I was downloading this information. I see like further vision, and it's really all in flow. Yeah, so it's the inspiration of God, actually. So yeah, give all the glory to God.
Thank you. And Krista says, can you talk a bit more about the spiritual underpinning of your project? So you've just touched on it, but yeah.
The spiritual underpinning, I suppose that a lot of we feel that the project has not been challenged or has really been lifted up by the great creator. So we're really like focused on the connection to the earth and connection to Great Spirit. So people, I follow the teachings of Christ. There's some and Rasta. Some people here don't believe. Some people here follow Buddha. Some Shiva. So there's like it's really about faith. So not any one religion. It's about faith, and spirituality for us here is the core and the foundation of how we stay bonded as a circle. So like, we know that the ancient tribes of the Navajo and the Hopi people always gathered in circle. And that's like, and I suppose the Druids did with their stone circles. And if you even if you stand in a group of people, naturally the circle will form. So it's like everything, yeah, equal decision making. And I suppose like the spirit of that is ancient. And that's really what we're tapping into. So every morning we come together, we pray together. And every evening we come together and we cook together and we bless our food through prayer and meditation as well. So there's a huge emphasis on like gratitude to spirit here. And I suppose not any one spirit, but the Almighty Spirit. That's the foundation and the underpinning of the project. And that's why we know that prayer is very powerful, Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love the sound of different spiritual paths all coming together with that common intent and prayer and gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And Simon says, how does your on-site decision-making process work in practice?
So like we have micro meetings and macro meetings. So within the project, we have 6 pods. We call them teams. We have like the community. If you can imagine, I'm trying to like design it as a drawing. The community at the heart, and then off the branches off of the community or the tree is education, growing, events and retreats, infrastructure. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple more, I can't think of them, but each team has a lead facilitator in the team. And then once a week, the team lead facilitator will bring the weekly task to the main meeting on a Monday morning. And then they will write down what needs to happen through their own pods throughout the week. So the decisions have been made in the pods, so it doesn't have to, like, the growing doesn't have to be a part of the education decision making. The infrastructure doesn't have to be a part of the education, but they all kind of feed into each other on a Monday. So just for argument's sake, the growing needs a raised bed built, yeah. So that will go into the infrastructure team. Or what does the infrastructure need for that to happen? So that's like a micro meeting on a Monday morning, and then for like larger, bigger decisions, we bring it to a once a month meeting. So 1st of February, we'll be talking about a barn build, and that needs to come to the whole team because we'll all be using the barn. You know, what's the barn going to be used for? But little decisions like the market garden, it's the growers, and not everyone needs to know that until the time comes where we all need to be building the beds. And we're kind of transitioning. We're not there completely with it being like all equal decision making because it's still coming through me and the landowner at the moment. But we're slowly like working out how it works as a collective. Again, it's very new. No one really knows how to work in the Western communities because we're also like individual and separated. So yeah, like this, if decisions need to be made that's going to affect someone's life, like moving someone across the field to another place of the project, that has to come to the whole community because it's someone's life. And it's like, you know, yeah, we don't want to take control of someone's life. But if, like, for argument's sake, we need to buy something, I'm just going to go and do that. You know, like, I don't need to bring it to the community. So it's like you don't get stuck on these decisions. Like I work with some Land Workers Alliance, and everything has to go to a decision for the whole community, for the whole project. And it takes months to decide what color paint they're going to use in the kitchen. You know, it like, so we don't get caught up on that side of things. And people are happy with that, you know. And like this year, we're looking at being able to make the money so people don't have to go out to work. Because at the moment, some people are still having to go outside to work for money to get their money. So yeah, we're looking at, you know, making enough money from the project to be able to support everyone in their basic needs. And everyone will have like a shared income. So we're going to try and work it. We don't know if it's going to work yet because we, you know, for it to be shared, everyone's got to put in equal, you know. Otherwise it becomes this thing of like, oh, that person's doing that much and that person's not really doing much. It's got to be super fair to everyone. Yeah.
Thank you. I've got another question which has arisen for me about that, but I'll ask you that in a minute. Phyllis asks, do you have any livestock, i.e. chickens or a cow, for eggs and milk?
We don't have cows. We do have some chickens for eggs. Yeah, I'd just like to say a little bit about that as well. So our community, obviously, there's a big thing about like meat and vegan. So we cook generally vegetarian and vegan communal meals, but we're not strict on like, you know, what people are eating. If they want to eat meat in their own space, they can. But generally, we keep it like vegan and vegetarian for communal meals, just to keep it super easy and simple. We have chickens for eggs, yes, and because we had a lot of slugs this year. So you get Indian runner ducks, and you can train them like dogs to walk around your garden and eat all the slugs and the pests. So we've got that. We're getting a couple of Shetland ponies in the food forest, and we're going to get some goats as well. We have bees here. But generally, we want to rescue some livestock. So have like a kind of an animal care sanctuary for beings as well. Yeah.
Thank you. And Ruth asks, how many people are involved in the project? You mentioned that some people live there. Is that the majority?
No, so we have a community in Derbyshire. There's about 30 people that are living there. We have a project in Stockport. There's about 20 people who go to the allotment there. We've got a movement in Birmingham called the FAF movement. There's about 30 women who are going to change people's gardens into allotments and growing spaces there. We have about 40 people in Glastonbury that live on site. There's only about 20 of us here at the moment because it's winter. But we have thousands of people that are involved in different ways. And it's like decentralized. So people are just taking crops and running with it. As long as like they live with the ethos of sharing the food with others. Like that's like the one thing what crop stands for. And I won't let like people change. Like that's one of the values. It's like we're growing our food to share half with people who can't afford it. So yeah, if people want to do a crops project, that's how we want it to be.
Thank you. And Crow asks, how is the surplus food that you produce distributed?
So it's distributed through local and not so local projects. We have a company called Fair Shares coming to collect some surplus. They're in Bristol and they're a charity that shares food for companies in need. We support 4 local food banks, the local Glastonbury fridge. We go out in Glastonbury every Saturday and give out food at like a market stall, but we just give it out and people make donations, and we give out like hot food. We make hot food as well. And people who message us, there's a lot of people, which makes me really sad, like privately message through their embarrassment, say, I haven't got any food. Do you mind if I come and get a veg box? Of course, come, like we'll feed you, you know? So it's really whoever needs it. Yeah.
Thank you. Somebody else, what's the name of the Birmingham project?
So it's called the Crops Not Shops Free and Fair Food Sharing Project, Free and Fair Food Sharing Network. It's called the FAF, FAFF, FAF. Yeah, making a FAF.
Yeah. And Savvy says, are you working on creating legislation, working with local councils, or petitioning to government to change laws?
That's not really our fight. Like, we haven't looked into that. I'm all for like the common law stuff, but I'm more into like God's law, more into like spiritual law. And I don't know if that gets recognised so much to the councillors, because I think we're talking to half the time uniform. Personally, I don't like to speak to the uniform. I like to speak to the person. But like when they come, they won't even have a cup of tea with you because they see it as a bribe. So it's like that's kind of what we're up against, you know. I do believe that love conquers all, and you know, if we can show a little bit of love to these people, then you know, it might have a little seed change to say, oh, do you know what, they're actually doing a good thing. Yeah. So legislation and law, we're looking at putting a lot of this project into trusts. So we're looking at different trusts and, you know, legislative trusts actually, and private members association. But then even that, it's kind of like a bit exclusive, and we want to be like more inclusive. Yeah, so that's it really. So like the governance system is all by morals and faith and love.
So you know, meeting you and listening to you, you obviously have enormous integrity and love, and you're really coming from your heart, and you have a wealth of experience and a lot of self-knowledge and self-awareness, and I can see how you generate community in a really beautiful way. And I'm just interested in how that model translates to the vision of lots of communities all over the British Isles, because yeah, I'm just interested in how you convey that model to other people who are not you. You see what I mean?
Really, it's been one of the biggest challenges that we've found, to find like project managers and like visionary leaders that have, I suppose, because I can be like quite tough sometimes as well, but also like very loving and open. But then sometimes it's like, okay, like that. It's like you have to have that willing to stand up and say, no, that's wrong. But what we're doing with crops is, rather than me having to go and set up these things, is well, everyone here is being, I suppose, gathering the knowledge and using this place as like a training ground. So we was talking about this last night. So we feel like everyone here is going to be able to go, you know what, I know what to do because I was at Crop, so I can go and then drop this on another project. So there's a couple here that I think are going to be the ones that are going to take the next one forward. Yeah, so that's what we're using. I have thought about like going to other sites and setting it up, but it will take me away from what I need to do here. So it's easier to just use this place as a ground for training people and for people to take this project elsewhere.
Yeah, makes sense. And Lynn says, how did you get started with the farm?
I mean, that's a broad question. I've been growing food for a while, and I knew that in order for us to be able to live here or stay here as agricultural seasonal workers, we'd have to get livestock, so chickens, and put food in the ground before we started building infrastructure. It's a way to get around planning challenges, because people buy land and they build their house first without planning, or they go through like a rigmarole of 5 years worth of application for planning. And it gets knocked back anyway. But when you've got food and you're doing what you're saying you're doing, you have actually got a lot more ability to stay on the land. So how did I start the farm? I wanted to always start the farm as being farm diversification. So lots of not just growing food, it's really about healing and education and empowerment and retreats and creating beautiful spaces for people to come and find refuge as well. Yeah, I mean my two main passions personally are food and events. I love bringing people together. I love people to come in and they get feeling inspired by what we're doing. And people have come here and gone away and just started up their own project just for the inspiration, not anything to do with crops. They've come and they say, I want to do that. And I think that's perfect,
Simon says, do you think the model would work without people living on a site?
No, definitely not. You need to be on site in the earth. It's for some people it might, like definitely if they come and go. We have a lot of volunteers that come and go and they don't live on site. But for it to be like so much action, because we're like we're on it 4 days a week. So a little bit about it as well. So 4 days, 4 days for 16 hours a week is what we contribute to the project. But if you've got 10 people, doing 4 hours, that's 160 hours. Like, there's a lot of work. I think there's a lot of hours gone in with like minimal effort from everyone. So 4 hours a day for 4 days a week for 2 meals, and you're staying to be part of the project. It's like a great exchange. It doesn't kill people. It's doable. Most of the crew work, like we put in whatever needs to be done. So we've got a barn to build. We'll just build it until it's done. Or we've got a polytunnel to put up. We'll just do that until it's done. On Fridays, Saturday and Sundays, we rest. Like we have a feel good Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, it's just like, that's rest time.
Thank you. So Philip says, how do the social media channels perform? How do people respond online? How are digital tools for communication, sharing knowledge used nowadays?
It's a great question. Like, we're trying to work that out ourselves. No one here is very good on social media. Like, I share a message every day, but I'm not really like, I don't know how to make reels or like, really like use the social media as a tool for what it can be used for. So I'm actually calling in someone to help us with that. Like, we're looking at about 10 more people joining this year. We're having a big trial next week. We had over 100 messages, emails from people that want to come and join. So yeah, it's really, really potent. One guy ahead there, he's going to come. We need someone to just do the admin and social media all the time to document the journey, so people can really see what we're doing. Because that's been one of our biggest challenges, actually.
Yes. And am I right? Did I, in listening to you, that you have so people contribute, say, 4 hours a day. So some people are living on the site, is that right? And then other people are living in their own accommodation and working, to pay for their livelihood as well. Is that how it works?
Kind of. I mean, like we have the facilities here. We have like all of the washing facilities, showers, toilets. all the food that people need. Genuinely, I think like it's the extra bits that people need. You know, everyone's really here for the project. So the hours is kind of like for new volunteers coming in. We don't really count hours and what work, but that's just what we've got as a foundational, I suppose, visible thing that people can see that they need to contribute. So they can contribute more. And as long as the work's like the tasks that need to be done are getting done, sometimes we don't have to do anything, you know. So it's like really what needs to be done, what the earth wants. You know, we don't work in the rain because the earth gets really like trodden over. We're trying to like be really gentle and careful with the land. But yeah.
Thank you. And so you work in inner city environments as well, is that right? Or there are projects growing food in gardens and...
So we've got projects growing food in gardens. We've got 4 neglected council sites that we've been allowed to grow on with the big issue. So obviously they've got a lot of clout and they've got a great like network of people as well. So yeah, really like bridging that urban space with the rural space, because obviously people are not ready to go to land. It's not for everyone. It's a very different way of living, and you've got to be really ready for it, you know, or wanting to look at it. Yeah.
And so that makes me think of social prescribing, you know, some GPs, they refer people to, maybe I could see how there could be a partnership, you know, because a lot of evidence shows that it's really good for mental health, for
Absolutely.
people to be on allotments in this kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you know, it really does. I think even that though, it's like connection. Like doctors should be prescribing connection. Go and get connected somehow. You know, whether it's with people or the land, or you know, like we see such a transformation of people. Like when you're in a group of people and you're moving towards something together with like a shared purpose, like all your trauma and healing just happen. Like it just it's like releases. It's magic. I don't know why or how, but it's really magical. It's really transformative.
Yes. Yeah, that needs documenting too, alongside the practical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that like it's such a missing piece of our puzzle. It's like one is the business aspect of it because we're not here for the money, and 2 is like the social media and how do we translate the journey so people can actually go, do you know what, that's the stage 1, stage 2. I mean, we have got it, but I don't want to sit on my phone writing stuff out. I like to be with the earth and like with the people, you know. But yeah, it's coming. By the end of this year, we'll be able to go, you know what, like this is it. This is how you do it. This is what we've done. Yeah, we are. Well, I know that technology is needed in lots. We wouldn't be able to be speaking now if it weren't for technology, right? So
Yeah.
it's part of our life now, isn't it?
Yeah. And so some of the speakers yesterday were talking about how you can't fight a system that's dying with the same way of thinking. And what I'm seeing in what you're doing is that you're generating this movement from the ground up.
Yeah.
That's a paradigm change.
Yeah. Well, that's our whole festival this year. So we have a Sacred Earth gathering that's themed birthing a new paradigm. Yeah, that's our beautiful gathering this year. It's over the June summer solstice. Krista's coming. I know Jonathan can't make it, but you're all very welcome. I'm going to release like a promo code with Sacred Earth as well, so you can have like a cheaper ticket. But it's 150 quid for the 4 days. We've got some amazing speakers, so much community building. It's a really sacred celebration. So yeah.
Thank you. Are there any more questions that anybody has for Chay? Jonathan says it's an incredible gathering. Krista says, in a way, you're already living a changed paradigm on a small scale, and I think it will become an amazing model for the future. Yeah, I really see that. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, if people want to know more about the project, we've got the website. The social medias are going to be way more active, lots more partnership, you know. if people have land, I would really promote the pulling the resources together and working out how to work land together. It's really powerful, beautiful. So yeah.
So say I wanted, where I live, there are landowners. Say I wanted to approach a local landowner, could I come to you for information
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
to do that?
Definitely. Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Debbie says, where do you get support from?
We get support from God. We get support from spirit, man. It comes. I feel like we're so in line. The other day we said we need some railway sleepers. The next day we was delivered 10 here from my friend. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, I really trust in and having so much faith. And it's not always easy. And, you know, we do sometimes worry about finances, but it always comes, and that's not our focus. You know, we have to really, truly believe, because we're preaching it, you know, we're preaching spirit. Are we really trusting it? Are we really, really owning the fact that we're in that faith? We get fearful, believe me, we do, but it's letting go and really, really trusting.
Yeah, it's very, very moving to hear this. And Mark says, are people allowed to visit over the weekend and camp and work?
Yeah, so we have a trial weekend next weekend. It's kind of full. But if you wanted to come and visit, just log onto the website. We've got volunteer application forms. We've got emails that you can message us through. Camping opened up in April when the land's a bit, you know, more ready for us to open up for camping. If you come and camp, you don't have to contribute to any work. But if you want to join us, then, you know, please do.
Okay. John says, have you found that the relationship with the land has changed over time, working and living on and with it in this way?
Like, one of the biggest changes for me, when I came here on this land, I'd been militant vegan for 10 years. When I came to the land, I just wanted to eat some meat. It was very, very bizarre. So I had some meat. I don't eat meat too much. I have it a little bit, but I had a real burning like craving. My body wanted to eat some grass-fed meat from local. So that was like the biggest change. Like, observing the land has been one of the greatest things to help myself grow. Watching plants grow and like watching like things work in harmony with other things. The land changes a lot. She's always moving and shifting and contracting and expanding. I've had a real deep affiliation with the earth anyway, so I've had a real deep care for the land forever. So it's not really changed in that respect. It's made me care more for the earth. It's made me care like a lot more and recognize that she gives so much to us. Like, she's constantly giving. Like, you know, has to be about reciprocity for us here. You know, I was saying to the crew, I think at the moment we're taking more than we've given in. So like, we need to put back in a little bit more. And the crew are here are like, okay, yeah, I see that. We're constantly trying to change with her, listen to her, always listening, you know.
Thank you. And do you make offerings?
Every day. Yeah, every day we have like we have 8 ceremonies. So every full moon, every new moon, every Imbolc solstice, you know, Beltane. We try and like even honor the traditions of like certain different religious movements. So like, you know, Christian days, we do Ramadan. We try and honor the sacred, like, you know, sacredness in all of faith if we can.
Yeah.
Krista's just said, talking about the work we do with children. Yeah, because like our slogan is educate, empower, grow. Education's like one of the 2 core pillars of what we're doing here. So passion-led learning is the children come and we have a list of stuff that, you know, for them to choose from. And whatever they want to learn, they can go and do. Like, we're not actually like trying to structure it like a lesson plan. You're going to learn this, this, and this. We've got some people growing down there. Do the children want to go and join them? We've got some people doing like, you know, fun things over there. Do you want to go and join them? Have a couple of different lesson offerings. It's all home ed, and we're gonna so that's on a Tuesday and Thursday starting at the end of March, and then on a Saturday after the festival we're going to open up to the public for one day a month to see like public school children, if we can get them to come and be a part of the the movement on a Saturday. Yeah, children and families, you know, we have a great group of mums here with our little babies. So they come together every day and like just be with the children, and the children are free to run on the land. Yes, it's powerful stuff. Very powerful.
Yeah, it is very powerful. It's very moving to hear this.
Well, thank you for joining us again, Chay. You are a real ally of Sacred Earth activism, a real example for people to, you know, the way that you are living on the ground and living your, living your vision. We're, very grateful you came to join us, and we wish you the very best. And those of us who live on that side of the pond, hopefully we'll be able to join you in your next festival. Thank you very much.
So much, everyone. I love you. Bless you. Keep it moving. Let's go.
We love you too. Bye.
Bye, darling. Take care. Bless.